Everybody, welcome back to another episode of Falcon Plays Rimworld. Off camera, I did a little bit of, weapon organizing, and what I mean by that, I moved some weapons around from people to people, and then people who had lost their weapons due to knockouts and everything like that have been properly re-equipped and everything like that, as you can see, because I did notice, it's not here anymore, because I already picked it up, but there was an AK-47 here, which I don't even remember where that even came from. But either way, I equipped it, I think, on Majak, because Majak's like a 10 in shooting, so I think he'll do some pretty good work with an AK-47. So let's get the game going on again. And alrighty, I have no renames for this episode, because yesterday, or last episode, we had caught nobody whatsoever, but that's alright. We have been focusing on just giving people their own individual rooms over here, so we'll soon enough start moving a few more people away from these areas, and hopefully getting them set up with some proper rooms over here. I just need to find out who is up next in terms of getting their own bed. Shooting 1, Toxic Monkey can hang out there for a second, along with Anderson Pena. Whose bed is this? Nab. Nab, I think, is a 0 in shooting, so he's gonna hang out there for a second. Raykaza's almost a 4. So Raykaza's gonna probably start moving into the, the barrack area. Pyro? I want to say Pyro is a relatively decent shot, right? No, he's almost a 4 too, though. Harry, what about you, my friend? Shooting a 4. So Harry's gonna get his move soon. Moldad's a 3, Bendover's a 4. Alrighty, so here's what I'm gonna do. We're gonna do, go into orders and we'll deconstruct, I think I said Harry, right? I have the fucking mind of an old man, I already forgot. Harry, yes, Bendover, Harry, and Solid Snake? Yeah, alright. So, Harry, Bendover, and Solid Snake, go grab yourself a room. And Raykaza, I believe, is almost a 4 too, right? So Raykaza, you also go and grab yourself a room. Alrighty, there you go. I say Pyro too, or am I just tripping major balls here? I think Pyro's like a 3 though, right? Almost a 4, so he's almost there. So when opportunity comes arise, I will move him. But for now, let's just have him hanging like that. Alrighty, so right now, we need to actually start smoothing out some of these stones as well. As not only that, but also collecting all this metal over here. But we can't do that because we actually have to extend our whole setup over here because we're completely packed out of metal. So what I will do is actually have them mine a bit further upward to put a little bit more metal in here. And we'll probably do the same right about here because there's a lot of fucking metal, to be honest with you. So maybe this will do. And what I hope is that this doesn't cause a cave-in while I'm doing this. I hope not, but we'll have to keep an eye on that. Building needs power. Standing lamp doesn't have power. Because it's now probably connected to the door instead of this, which is what it used to be connected to. I'm passing by. Go F yourself. Okay. So we'll keep an eye on the mining over there, make sure nobody gets crushed. And now what we need to also do is actually set up some more power conduits through here. And let's see. We'll just run it through there for now, and then the rest of it will just kind of run down straight over here. Well, I unfortunately clicked and I wasn't supposed to, but no big deal. That's what I wanted to do anyway. So we'll do this and this along with this and just start connecting the power conduits to the doors to give these guys a little bit of lights in their actual rooms and whatnot. So they could be kind of like civilized, humans, not just kind of sleeping in the dark like, fucking cavemen and whatnot. Not that there's anything wrong with being a caveman, I mean. Honestly, believe me, I don't want to be that guy that, oppresses the caveman in the, was it the Geico commercials? It's a Geico commercial, right? I don't even know nowadays, like, every now and then, I think that the Geico commercials are just strictly set for the lizard, but at the same time, it's not always for the lizard now, is it? It's sometimes there's a caveman, and you don't know which fucking commercial you're really thinking about here. So, too many mascots, Geico, just kind of have to lower it down a bit here. Alright, let's keep an eye out over here. Make sure these guys don't get fucking crushed right now. If they do, then that's a really rude awakening for them, too. It's like, oh, I'm sorry, guys, you got crushed. I was just experimenting, and, there you go. Alrighty, keep an eye here. Make sure that none of these guys... Oh, you know what? There was a rename. I forgot to rename Stanislav. Alrighty, I'll do that after this episode, though. Stanislav, are you okay there, man? Should we just leave this one? I feel like we should leave this one so it doesn't fucking, cave in on us, because you have a good thing going on. I don't want to actually push it. So if that's actually set up for, whatever, for mining, don't do it. At least for now, just so I could, have a peace of mind here. And we'll extend stockpile down through here, and then we'll do the same through there. Alrighty, that works out good. No big deal. Our food's gonna have to slowly start also expanding a bit because we are producing quite a bit of food now, which is a good thing, obviously. I'm not complaining about that. Alrighty, so now they'll probably start hauling off some of this metal, which is gonna be really good. Power conduits being used up or being built. Alrighty, we're actually building shit really, really fast, which is actually really fucking good. Standing lamp still doesn't have any power. Why don't you have power this time? I thought we already built this power conduit for you here. Oh, we didn't. I actually missed that one because I'm a fool. Alrighty, there you go then. Alrighty, so now that's set up, what do I want to do? Well, we actually have to create more rooms here, meaning I'm going to have to set up some stone walls and then mine across because, you know, obviously I created a little bit of a clusterfuck while doing this, but that's alright. So, let's put this in real time, have them do their due diligence and walk around, do whatever they have to do. And yeah, I mean, is it really imperative that I do the rooms now? Or maybe I should start building the industrial area, right? I think that would be, like, not a bad idea, to be honest with you. So, let's see. If the rooms that they're going to sleep in are going to be over here, let's make it kind of centered, right? So I would say the hall... You know what? Let's actually be smart about this. Let's actually use our planning tool. You know? That's what it's there for. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to do door over here, right? So boom, we'll open this up like so, and then... That's the size of our room right there, right? And then we'll do door like that. And then... Is that correct, or am I missing like one down? I think I'm missing one down, right? Yeah, I totally am. Am I? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, 5. I only had 4 before, so there you go. That's gonna be a room, and this will be a room as well. Alright, you know what? You guys were right. I will concede when I'm wrong. The planning tool is actually kind of important because it lets me actually plot out even without having the proper, I guess, bricks in here placed so I can know that, you know, hey, this is where we're going to be building rooms at Falcon. So, you know what? I'm a fool for never using it, and now I'm finally using it. I understand the basedness of the planning tool now. You know, speaking of which, isn't the, isn't. As I'm recording this, I think today is day 2 of the World Cup. I finally started. As an American, as a, you know, stinking casual American, I'm not the biggest, I guess, soccer fan out there. I have nothing against soccer, right? But what I mean by that is that I don't follow soccer on a regular basis. Honestly, I don't really follow too many sports on a regular basis. The only sport I do follow is football. Not that I'm saying that's not a sport, right? But the only sport I do follow is football. And by football I do mean the NFL, National Football League, American football, if you want to be, for all of you, I guess international viewers is what I mean. But I'm a big fan of American football. I don't like baseball too much. It's a little bit too slow for me. The only time I really watch baseball is if I'm going to a game and I'm gonna get piss shit drunk, and then I could just be like a total dick and just holler at people and be like, hey, fuck you, man. It's like, dude, what's your problem? I don't know. Fuck you, though. That's the only time I really like baseball. Basketball, I used to like it. Back in the days, not really the, you know, I don't really follow it attentively nowadays is what I should say. Not like I used to anyway when I was younger. No reason why I just stopped following, I just kind of did, and you know, nowadays, if I want to get back into it, I used to be a big Minnesota Timberwolves fan for the, when I used to watch baseball, or football, I should say. Every sport but basketball, Falcon. When I used to watch basketball, I used to be a big Minnesota Timberwolves fan, big Kevin Garnett fan. And nowadays, like, I feel that I think Kevin Garnett might still be around. He's like 40 or something now. He might still be around. But I feel that I can't get into basketball now because I feel that I've missed out too much. So I don't even know who are the top players these days. I don't know where people are at, like what teams are at. I don't know who's retired. It's a big, you know, it's like kind of a... It doesn't sound like it, but it is kind of like a big investment. You gotta know, like, you know, who's where, what happened to who, yada yada yada. And I could do that. Obviously, with the power of the internet, everything's into our grasp nowadays, but... I'm a Neanderthal and I apparently refuse to find out on my own, and that's the reason why I'm impeding myself to get back into basketball. But, you know, whatever. I'm not necessarily over here hurting for not, you know, watching basketball anymore. The only thing I do keep in touch with is American football, as the, you know, stinking American that I am. However, I went on a tangent here. What I was talking about was the World Cup starting, and that's when I'm actually interested in football, or, you know, football or soccer, whatever you want to go with. For both, you know, domestic and international viewers. That's the only time I'm really interested in soccer is when the World Cup is going on. I think that started yesterday. I think today Spain's playing. Just to give you an idea when this was recorded, I think Spain is playing Holland, if I'm right? Or Mexico played? I don't know. Teams that I follow, well, you'd imagine just because I am, you know, from the US and I'm American, I'm a big fan of the US team. I'll follow them just out of, pride, like, you have to root for your, your national country, regardless of which, at least that's how I feel, but, I am not, an oblivious fan. I know that the US team isn't the best team around, by a long shot. They're alright, they're decent though, they've actually come up with some few victories here and there in the past World Cups, but they don't really actually have that, I guess, winning spirit that a lot of the European teams have, the South American teams have. When the '94 World Cup came around, just to give you an idea how fucking old I am, I was a big... Oh, we recruited Kumai, actually, so give me a second here. Kumai, what are you doing? Oh, this guy's over here already working on stones. Is that what you want to do, Kumai? You want to work on stones? You can, man, it's fine. But just let me give you a second here to give you some proper stats, though. Research 0. Let's make you... we need hauling to be done, because there's a lot of metal around, so we'll do that. Crafting, I guess we'll make you a 1 in that, too. And art could go F itself, along with plant cutting, and hunting, you're a good hunter as well, huh? I wonder if you're a good shooter, then. And cleaning, we'll keep it like a 2. Alrighty, that works out for me. And Kumai, are you a good shooter? Oh, you're almost a 7, that's actually really good. You're gonna actually get a room in here. You actually already even probably have a room, right? I wouldn't be surprised if you did. Let's look around. Kumai, Sushi. No, he doesn't have a room just yet. I guess when he goes to sleep, he'll probably pick one of these rooms, though. That would make sense to me anyway. Alright. So, yeah, we'll set him up with a gun, however, or something relatively decent. I think the Pila is probably a better weapon than the Glock. That's what I've heard anyway. The Pila has a really, high damage range. It doesn't load too fast, but it has high damage range. So with a shooting of almost 7, he should be pretty accurate with it anyway, so that should work out for us. Alrighty. So we'll have those people continue working on stones. Speaking of stones, yeah, we have enough room still. Alrighty, so anyway, going back to my whole soccer, football thing. I hope you guys don't take offense to me calling it either football or soccer. I know that some people are like, no, it's football. Americans, your football isn't the real football. It's fucking soccer football. Football. Don't call it soccer, so I apologize. I'm just using both of the terminology here just so that, you guys, everybody understands what the hell I'm talking about exactly. But, I'm a big... Well, in the '94 World Cup, I was a big fan of Brazil. Romario, Bebeto, Dunga, I only know history of sports back in the old days when I used to care about stuff. Nowadays, I'm just a miserable person and I'm just kind of like, I don't want to learn. But I was a big fan of them, and only because they were the favorites. I will admit that. It's because they were the favorites, and number 2, I was young, impressionable, so as a young kid, if the team is good, you're just kind of like, yeah, I like this team for no reason at all. Although, Brazil is obviously one of the fucking best teams in the world. All the times it's insane. Brazil breeds people just to play soccer, and, that's a really, something you should, congratulate them for. Apparently they're just fucking bred to play soccer or football, whatever you want to go with here. But either way, what I'm trying to get at here, people are hauling rocks off still? Yeah. So we're about to kind of fill up our rock stockpile here. We still have a few more to actually pick up, so really quickly, let's actually extend this zone here. Stockpile, let's move this a bit forward like so, and maybe even upward a bit. There you go. So going back to the whole thing, that's the reason why, and they're fucking bred to play soccer apparently. But nowadays, as I grew up and when, World Cup, fever rolls around, I root for the US obviously as an American, but I always love Spain. I always loved Germany. Germany's always been a team that I've always rooted for, even as a kid, and I still root for them now. Why, you might ask? My, I guess, European heritage doesn't come from, that part of Europe. I think it's mostly just English. I've looked up my last name, and it's English descent. But Germany, I've always been a fan, and it's actually a really funny story, the reason why, and I hope as long as, these guys over here working, you guys don't want me over here just chattering, kind of at least keeping you slightly amused while all this shit goes on. Let's cancel this out really quickly, though, really quick, just because we know that we've already built that, and we'll do the same right about through here. Cancel this out, and we'll cancel that out. I do need a little bit more mining over here. I kind of undershot the mining process on this side, so we'll do mining like so. And this also needs to be mined one more, I do believe. So does this, and is that right? Yes, that's right. We'll do this, and we need a doorway, obviously. Somehow missed the fucking door. And we'll do that. Alrighty. The reason why I'm a German fan in terms of soccer, it's actually a really funny story. I'm a big fan of Georgian Klinsmann, who's I think now a coach for whatever team. I think he was either coach for Germany during the 2010 World Cup. Not sure if he was or not. I want to say he was, but I could be wrong in that. Because I know that, you know, even though players are from a certain nationality, they actually do coach other teams. They're not just, you know, strictly limited to coaching their national team. But growing up, one of the first soccer games that I ever played was actually a demo back in some, you know, shitty mom and pop store. But they actually had a Sega Genesis demo of, actually it wasn't even a demo back then. Back then they had the actual Sega Genesis with the actual game in there. So the demo was the actual game. You could play as long as you want. So I used to always pick Germany because they used to be high rated, obviously other than Brazil. I think it was FIFA 93, 94, something like that, like really old school. They didn't even have, and here's what's funny about it, they didn't even have the rights to, you know, actual player names. Like now games do, you know, nowadays the games like FIFA do have like the rights to just about every player, right? But back then, you didn't have rights for that. So they used to come up with like, they used to make up names for the teams, right? And the reason why I'm a Germany fan when it comes to football is the fact that the German team, not only were they high rated, the front, what is it, the wingers? Or the offensive dudes the guys up front, the wingers, I want to say left and right wing, right? Or am I thinking of hockey now? You know what I'm talking about there, right? The strikers, right? It's strikers. I think it's strikers. The strikers were named, oddly enough, 3 of the strikers, or 2 of them, were named after me, the first name anyway, was named after me, and the other striker was named after my cousin. And me and my cousin used to always play video games together growing up. So it was just so funny because both of our names happen to be the fucking wingers or the strikers for the German team in FIFA World Cup 93, or not World Cup, but FIFA 93. And boom, instant German fan. I was like, sweet, my dude's in the fucking German team. And like, you know, as a kid, I was like, oh yeah, it's my name, that's me, yada yada, you know. You're a kid, you're impressionable. And then my cousin was also the other winger, so it was just our fucking team. And ever since then, big Germany fan, always root for them. So it's just funny how, you know, sometimes you pick a fandom towards a team just over silly reasons like that. So just wanted to share that, I guess, just the reason why I root for Germany most of the World Cups and whatnot. They haven't really won anything recently though, right? Like in terms of the World Cups. I know last year was Spain, or not last year, but last World Cup was Spain, and you know, whatever. I've also been like a Argentina fan. Growing up, I was a big fan of Batistuta. I believe that was his name, Gabriel Batistuta. I was a big fan of his. And then there was also Diego Maradona, right? Diego Maradona, is he the coach of the Argentinian team now? I think he is, but I could be wrong. But I'm pretty sure he is. And unfortunately, what happened to that dude? He was like a fucking... Wasn't he like almost heralded as like the same level as Pele back in those days? And then he got involved in fucking drugs and God knows whether they're fucking legal issues, and he just kind of threw his career away, which, you know, unfortunately that's what happens in, you know, sports. You know, sometimes players just throw their fucking career away doing really silly stuff, and I think that's what happened with that dude right there. Alrighty. So enough jabber about the cup. I just wanted to, you know, give you guys, as I figure there's I get the feeling there's a big international viewership in my videos and my channel and everything, so I figured we could do something a little bit fun due to that. So, let's see. Going back to what's going on in the game itself, we have a few people just still sleeping over here. They're probably not too happy about that, considering these guys have their own suites, but, you know, again, I just want to keep it kind of separated. What I could do is that since these are the slightly better shooters, here's what I'm going to do. Let's actually be smart about this. Let's deconstruct these beds. And what I'll do is actually deconstruct those, and then we'll actually set up beds over here, right? And why I'm doing this for is that this right here will kind of spell the, I guess, the non-fighters' quarters, right? So we'll separate it. So this will be for non-fighters, and then I could have the people that are sleeping outside or not in rooms kind of start moving in over here. I think that kind of works out. It makes sense to me anyway. So we'll get rid of this area. We'll keep these empty until we get any decent fighters, and then we'll put beds right there for them. So this will work out. And then what we'll do is deconstruct this bed, this bed, this bed, and this shit, and right here. And now everybody has their own room. So it took us a while, but we finally did. And what was this? Cargo. First aids, huh? You know what? I don't think these work still. Or, you know, correct me if I'm wrong, I don't think they do, but we'll collect them at the very least just for the opportunity to sell them once we get the chance. We haven't had a actual... where would that be? Manufactured? Medicine. Yeah, we haven't had an actual trade ship in a while, which is actually really bothering me because, you know, I have it modded so that trade ships do carry slaves and we could actually get more people involved that way, but, you know, whatever. Guess we'll roll with this for now. Alrighty. The other thing I gotta make sure is the trade beacon actually grabbing all of this here, and it should be, right? Yeah, totally. That's enough of radius, so yeah, not a big deal there. Oh yeah, but you know what I want to do? I wanted to move the trade stockpile over because I really hate that it's over here in the middle of our, you know, fighting area. So I guess what we could do is set up a stockpile for all that shit, like down over here. We'll do it like that. That works, right? We'll do it that way, and then what I will do is go back to Misk and we'll do the orbital trade. Oh yeah, it covers just about everything here. As a matter of fact, it covers quite a bit more. So we can extend that to what, 1, 2 up and 1, 2 down. So we'll put it right here in the middle, and then stockpile, I could actually even move 2 up, I said, and even 2 down. There you go. It could even move to the sides a bit, but whatever. We'll get fancy with that later. So we'll do that, and what I want over here is actually the non-stuff. So we're looking at manufactured, like shells and all that bullshit like that. And what else? We want weapons here as well. And that's about it, right? Yeah, I think that's it. So we'll do this as preferred. And then we'll actually have them just delete the stockpile over here. Delete zones, yeah, that's right. Boom. And they'll just move that over here, and that'll work out. Right? They just apparently dropped the medkits on the way, and they were like, yeah, you know what, Falcon, I'm just gonna go to sleep. Fuck that. Alright, guys, whatever. So there you go. At the very least, we have all of our kind of like workers down over here. We have our barracks kind of like over here set up together. That's good. So what I would do is, let me cut it an episode here, guys. We just basically worked on extending stuff and setting up rooms today, which is good. I mean, it's, you know, baby steps at all times. We could actually start building a bigger battery room here now, which is good. We have to, once again, extend either the metal area or add another one. I'll probably just add another one at this point, so that we have most of this metal picked up here. So we'll do that, and then we'll also, next episode, start expanding into the industrial area to this side, and then maybe we get the chance to start getting the mess hall going on over here, and setting up some kitchen tables and everything like that. So we had a peaceful episode, so, you know, again, don't get too comfortable with that because obviously it probably won't last too long. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. I can catch you next time.